What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hamza from Ather Gaming, and today, guys, I'm here with
Marcus.
And what did you do today, sir?
I won a regional fight at Nats.
Playing what deck?
Orcust.
And what do you think about that deck currently in the format?
I think the deck is strong. It makes one of the best stun boards this format. The issue is that it's really hard to play through a lot of hand traps, so we kind of struggle.
And of course, guys, let's give a huge shout out to our sponsors, NAWCQ, for helping us get to this event. If you guys want to check them out, the link will be in the description below. Without further ado, let's get straight into the deck profile.
All right, so before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that I'm gonna have this guy do a lot of the talking. We did a lot of theory on it, and my voice is really hoarse, and so I don't want to really get into it. So I'm gonna let him do a lot of talking because I talked to him about a lot of my own personal theory. So shout out Ather Gaming, shout out my babies. And then can you get a close up of that? So it's a story. So so we took a group token picture, and this monkey didn't smile. And so, and I'm talking about a dual Ather, and so the guy photoshopped a cynic smile on his face. So it's beautiful, and I'm gonna keep this forever. So I played 3 hardcore. I wanted to draw it so I can pitch it out of my hand or normal summon and go straight into Galatea. 3 Nightmare, because if you draw 1, you only play 1, you lose. 1 symbol, you only ever need 1. There was multiple times where I needed 2 because I was being a bad player. And 1 wand because it's actually busted and it's the only way you can do the reset.
So this engine was standard for the most part. The only thing that came up sometimes was I've seen people who cut the heart pourer for just to cut down the heart pourer to 2 to cut for size constraints and such, but we weren't maxing out on cards like Scrap Recycler, and not even if we were, it just came down to the fact that let's say you open heart pourer and Scrap Recycler and an extender. Normally Scrap Recycler or another foolish card, setting a World Wand or setting the Orcust Nightmare, and then pitching the heart pourer off the Mermaid is still just significantly better. It's so good that it's worth seeing hands of multiple heart pourer, because the thing with this list is that we want Orcust as a deck in general. Like Marcus said, I gave this illusion that you have to go through this alley. Once you get through that alley, you're fine. But in that alley, it's very narrow. So we wanted to open up that alley as much as possible, and triple heart pourer contributes to things like that.
Absolutely. So that was the Orcust lineup. I played 1 Candina and 1 Corvin. In reality, I was a lot of times where I didn't want to play Zar. I just wanted to play 2 of these because I always want the normal summon. My cards that said Foolish Burial. I played 2 Scrap Recyclers. This card is good. Again, he just explained it. I want to have cards that dump into the graveyard so that when I do go into my Nightmare combo and you hand trap me, you don't actually stop me. I still have a follow-up play. And I can make a board or some kind of board unless I just open crazy and I just make a full combo anyway. 1 Armageddon Knight, really good card. It's dark, makes it a little better than Scrap Recycler. Played 3 Destrudo. I was playing a guy and he was playing 3 Destrudo. He's that's just really bad because you're paying half your life every time. And I'm yeah. I'm it could be bad if we actually went in the time, but you just got 2, so it doesn't matter. Play 1. You just play 1. You play 2. So there's a thing I'm not sure people know, or they just don't care. If you draw, drawing this card is actually just it's so crazy, because if you draw this card and then you draw a card that says Foolish Barrel and you Foolish Harp, and you can actually get into the combo through the Nightmare, you can end on Redoer, Double Fog Blade, Crescendo, instead of just 1 Fog Blade. And I don't think people were doing it, and shame on them, right?
Opening it also lets you play through a lot of hand traps, and it lets you play through a lot of stun cards, like Vanity's Fiend, for example, and in some instances, in the last round of day 1, where I was playing in Migrate, the guy had Double Veiler in hand, but because I hard drew Boots and a way to special, I could no matter what, I'd always end on a Fog Blade, which means I'm not dead and my graveyard's loaded for next turn. So I agree with Marcus. I think double Boots is just correct.
Yeah. I don't want to make this video long. He just said that shit. But in reality, we were sitting there watching, and we look at his opponent's hand, and he has Double Veiler, and I look at Abdullah's hand, I'm oh, Abdullah loses now. And for some fucking reason, he doesn't go into the Nightmare combo. He goes straight to Galatea, and he starts doing some super unorthodox shit to just plays around fucking hand traps. And at the end, I'm yo, did you get the read on the hand trap? Oh, he's oh, he had hand traps? So, I don't know what that's about, but it happened. I think this is different from everybody else in a group that want to play. They weren't really playing hand traps that can get called by the grave. We had another teammate who was playing 3 Impermanents, which is fine. We had somebody who wasn't playing any hand traps whatsoever. My thing again is because Element Grace is because Element Grace sucks and they hand trap you to death. I feel I want to be able to say no to their Gazelle most of the time, or to their Mirage Stalio, so that when I do get hand trapped next turn, it's not that impactful. as far as them like just trying to blow me out. Played 3 Insta Fusions. I always held this card in my hand when I started comboing if I had a choice, because if you tried to stop me or your lance hit me, next turn you weren't playing because I basically cyphered you a window. So it was busted. 3 Call by the Grave. This card is shit. Don't play it, guys. Don't play it at all. I don't want any Orcust player to play Call by the Grave. Only me. 3 Twin Twisters. This card was so good, and it actually just won me a lot of games because like I don't think people saw it coming. But I did lose a 3v3 because I didn't tap down the card that was in the same column as my Twin Twister, and he impermanented me, and I just threw the game away. I only played 2 light stage. My thing was like you wanted, like some people want to see it, but I wanted to play a 40 card list. And after I resolved this card, like turn 1, if I had it, I was never doing it again, and I didn't want to draw a light stage at any point after that. So like another teammate then, like he talked to me and he was like, hey, he was like, normally like when you like if you resolve a if you go light stage Candina, just get there the light stage so you get it, so you deck then, and then like grab your core van, which was I guess pretty smart. I played 1 Babel. Anybody who calls it Babel needs to go back to elementary school so they can learn their phonics. 1 Mystic Mind.
Good card.
It's so sacky, and I never resolved it. I drew Mystic Mind like so many times, and I actually just pitched it for like nightmare combos because I just never needed it, never came up. Actually, most of the decks that I played were Mystic Minding me, and so like that was fun. I played 1 Terraforming. I didn't want to play multiple, although I am playing multiple field spells. Again, like I wasn't really reliant on field spells. Like it wasn't my thing. It was something there, and I didn't want to like draw like double Terraforming and like have my opponent have like 2 Colossus on board, and I'm like, oh, I lose now. 1 Foolish. It does what all my other monsters do. I played double Fog Blade, Brigadine, 1 Crescendo. Don't play double. You don't want to brick on this card. And that's the main deck. Side deck, standard, 1 Mermaid, 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix. Unicorn, people cut it. Again, Mystic Mind. They Mystic Mind you. It didn't come up for me because like it just never got there. I was always at Twin Twisters in hand. But like if they do, you just co-link it and like you just draw multiple cards a turn until you can like out it, right? People aren't doing that, and I don't know why people are cutting it, which is pretty bad too. I actually like went to a play and like did my Orcust stuff, like did some Orcust stuff, and then like made this unicorn the way like Solomon Grace player Sunlight Wolf, and then I something back by Galatea. I made it in Girsu, and I sent this field spell and literally left him on no cards, and then passed to him and he just scooped. Card is good if you're trying to break boards. You just have to learn how to break boards, guys. 3, you have to play. I had OTs, I sold them. If you have more foreigns, I need 2 more. Please be generous to me. 1 Long Girsu. I made it once in the regional flight against a mirror match because I was beating the guy, and then he was making misplays, and I was stopping him from making his misplays because I knew there was no way I could lose. Guys, you don't play this card because like you can just like Foolish Barrel your Phantom Knights, okay? Boral Sword. Alright, so funny thing, right? So actually, so in the regional flight, there was only 1 game where like I really went to game 3, and I won 2 of my dice rolls. All my dice rolls I won game 1. The 1 dice roll that I didn't win, I beat the guy game 1. I scooped all my game 2s, except for the 1. I let my opponent combo. After they comboed, I scooped, and I went the next game and I just killed him because like I really don't want to play that with you, right? I'm just trying to go for game. Redoer. It's like I was biased. I thought Redoer sucked. But like the fact that like I would do it to the mirror match. I would go like Redoer effect, and I would take your harp, and then like my opponent would spend all of their time trying to out my Redoer, so I didn't get the harp back, and I would go Redoer effect, detach trap, and not banish my thing, and I would hold the harp, and while they burned all their cards trying to like bait trying to out it, and then they would just lose. So I thought that was cute. 2, I misplayed a lot. Instead of me like continuing to cycle this back with the symbol, sometimes I got greedy and I just summoned the second one. And I'm like, oh man, it's bad. This card is pretty good. Like this baits everything and it's outboards. It makes Salomon Grace cry because it's like, hey, like my Sunlight Wolf can't be killed. I'm like, well, I'll just take it and disintegrate him. And then this card is truly MVP. They Lancia you and you're like, freak. I'm going to stun you for a turn anyway. That's the extra deck. My side deck is Unorthodox 2. I was afraid of strikers. I was definitely afraid of strikers, so I played
3
kaiju.
Radiant.
Because I was like, you know what? And so like my thing with Radiant is like I wanted to like give you Radiant, basically Denko Sekko you, and then like on my turn go into Brawl Sword and like get that extra damage so I can kill you. Because I didn't want the game to last long at all. Because I didn't want you like beating the grand game. 3 of this card. Because you have to play it. Like you don't have a choice. That's unfortunate. So super spicy tech, and I can't take credit for it. That's all this guy. I'm gonna let him explain it. But you play the Sanctum engine.
All right, so what's the like when we deck build? We just deck build around like unfair interactions, just unfair like power cards. And like when I was playing Salamander, I just realized that like if I had Sanctum in the mirror, I just automatically won, regardless of if I got hand trapped or not. And Orcust is a deck that plays very similar to Salamander in that regard, and I just felt like, is there a better card that we could play going first? And the answer is no. And against decks like Danger Thunder and the Orcust Mirror, it's not actually that difficult to break the board, like for your opponent. So they can like just break your board super easily. But if you have Sanctum, it's game. You can't lose. And I just think that's like one of the most broken cards in the game, and it was just remiss to take advantage of it. So we threw it in.
Yeah, what he said, big words.
So do you like the Sanctum package?
So there was a funny story. So in the final of the regional qualifier, I'm playing Salomon Greats. I'm doing my thing. He's literally destroying my hopes and dreams with hand traps. And I hold my Insta Fusion, and I'm able to after I think he ashes, he Valors me, and then he Lancias me, and I'm like, wow, you are so good. And then I'm like, okay, well I can still go into Mermaid now, and so I go into Mermaid. Mermaid resolves. I special my Nightmare. I make Galatea. Instant Fusion. I overlay. I Instant Fusion. And I make Dengirsu, and then I set my Artifact Sanctum as a redundancy. And the guy's like, oh, I can't. That guy's like, oh, I can't out that. But he tries to play. And the next turn, I go and I do things. And I make a full board and I swing for damage. And then I clear off my thing. And then he goes again and he starts playing. And he starts doing stuff, and I just like destroy his whole hand. And then like once the game is over, he looks at me. He's like, "Oh man, if you didn't make that window, I was going to kill you." And I was like, "Bro, little did you know, we always have contingency plans." And so he was never playing. And so like the card is crazy. There is a downside though. I am the king of bricks. It doesn't matter what deck I play. I can play the most consistent deck in the format. I'm going to find a way to brick with it. And so I drew this card like three to four times, and it was just bad. And I didn't see a Twin Twister. And so I'm like, yeah, this card is just great. But like you always side man with this, so like you still have something, but I never actually summon it off of a Sanctum. Again, another spicy tech. I'll do it last. This is my own personal thing as well. I want hand traps. I want to be able to say no to you so I can play too. This again, Mr. Big Brain over here, man. He's really just like destroying the meta. Again, super terrified of strikers. Any back row deck, and I'm always citing this card in. Like, why'd you put this card in the deck, man?
It's like, again, it's the same theory of Sanctum, right? Against a lot of these decks, like Mindstrike is a very difficult matchup. So how do we deal with it? Is we just Eradicator them. Against Ultrageist, you Eradicator them. Even in the mirror match, you Eradicator them. Like Senegal Eradicator for spells, and it just like destroys you because you cannot play. Subterrors, I Eradicator Subterror in the tournament. Like they had 4 spells in hand. It's a card that it's a win button, and one of the craziest things you can do is like you can end with Dingirsu on board, just Dingirsu, and then like you can't get Twin Twister, you can't get like Super Poly for example because you just have Dingirsu, and you have Babel on board as well. You go Eradicator away the Dingirsu. Dingirsu has Symbol Skeleton attached to it, so you Eradicator them, rip their hand apart, and then you can still have Symbol bring back Dingirsu to get another send or to recur advantage. And if you have a second Eradicator, you can just Eradicate them spells and traps. The card is just a win button, and it's like Sanctum in that regard. It was just that we wanted to basically Sanctum for decks that didn't summon from the extra deck, like Ultrageist and Sky Striker, and that's what Eradicator is. It's Sanctum for those decks. Yep.
Any shout outs you want to give?
All right, so that's it. Shout out Card Magic if these guys sponsors. Shout out Ather Gaming. Shout out my wife and my 2 babies who didn't trip when I said I was coming. Shout out the team, Senna, Tim, Ben, Ryan, Tony over there, Abdullah, Hamza behind the camera, Frank who's not here, I love and I miss you. And like just, it was a great experience, right?
Man, you want those in Permanent.
I really do. Yo, Frank, cut me a deal. Like, and that was great, right? I think the community needs to change, and I feel like Ather Gaming will be the change for the community. There's so much toxic behavior going on, and I feel like we can make it a healthy place for people to grow.